Hello, ladies, fellas. Welcome to the Football Frame of Mind podcast. Today we're doing our weekly show recaps and previews, man. So uh, look forward to that, man. Before we get started, man, how you doing?
Man, I'm good, bro. I'm definitely looking forward to having these conversations, and we're gonna go over who's got the better record, and we're gonna keep predicting and just kind of see. Both of our Super Bowl predictions are probably pretty much in the dumpster at this point, but
Yeah,
hey, good fun conversation. I got one team still in it, so we'll see what happens.
yeah, I ain't got no team in it, man, except my team. Bruh, they dropped the ball, man, this week, man. Um, but like I said, man, we'll get into it, man. It's definitely cool to go through this playoffs, man. But we gotta shout out our sponsors before we get into it, man. Off the Ball Network, man, our first sponsor, man. These are some great guys, man. Great platform for us to be on and discuss our topics, man. We got a link in our description, man. Check out the network, man. They got anything you want. Basketball season is heating up, man. So if you're into that, check it out, man. There's some dudes on there that know the game and really kind of shaped my opinion too sometimes because I'm like, man, I didn't know that. But definitely glad to be a part of the team. And then we got Bet US, man. One of the oldest sports books on the market, man. Check them out, man. There's a link in our description, man. They start you off with some free bets, man. Also, if you have trouble with gambling, man, and you need some help, they offer that too. So we got to shout that out as well. We are everywhere. Check us out all over the place, wherever you get your podcast from. We everywhere. So just type in Football Frame of Mind podcast or Football Frame of Mind. Ain't nobody got our name, so we gonna pop up all the time, man. It's a football field as our picture, man. So it's universal. So check it out. Also we got a store, man. It's cold out here, man. It's cold in the south. So get you a hoodie, man. It's nice, it's soft, it's everything you want in a hoodie, man. So, and then give us some feedback on other stuff we can add to the store, man. We appreciate it, man. So, also we appreciate all the attention we getting on our shorts, man. That's really our bread and butter, man, when it comes to how we doing the podcast. So, give us some feedback on some topics, man, that we could do, man. Let us know how we can improve. Feedback is everything when you're a podcast, man. You're a content creator, I mean. So, we appreciate that, man. So, uh, look, man, let's get into it. Let's get into it, man. I know you got a lot to say about my picks because they didn't work out as well as I would hope.
So I think we should start off with the AFC. And since you just want to talk about that, I mean, we might as well address the big white elephant in the room, and that's the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans. Man, look, I didn't expect. Look, I picked Houston to win this game, but I did not anticipate them to struggle on offense like that, and
Yeah.
I did not anticipate CJ Stroud to torch them like he did. Man, he has got ice in his veins. Man, he's through for. I think. Let's see right here. He's completed 16 for 21, almost 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, he picked them apart. This defense just couldn't get anything going. I really wanted to see Joe Flacco have a really good game. He threw for over 300 yards, man, but those turnovers are really come back to bite you in the butt, especially with a hot young team like this. Man, they are playing with a fire lit under their butt right now. And man, they've got Baltimore next week. And I know me and you have had this conversation outside of the podcast. That's probably going to be the game to watch this weekend for sure. So, I mean, congrats for Cleveland at least getting the season together without having Deshaun Watson all season. But, man, even bigger congrats to the Houston Texans, man. First year, D'Amico Ryans, man, 45-14, great quality win. And now the real test comes up. We have to play Lamar in Baltimore. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, man, that was a tough game, man. For Cleveland, man, because I don't think that they thought that they would have this trouble. But one of the things that I see from the game, from just looking at the flow of it, was that they couldn't run the ball at all. Like they couldn't establish the run at all, man. And when you playing a young team, you want to keep them off the field. Like a team that's young, like the Texans, man, they have so much firepower, man, just off of energy alone. Like, yo, we just
Mhm.
out here playing. So you want to kind of keep that on the sideline, man, and then force them to kind of make mistakes in a sense. But you're right, man. Those turnovers hurt, man, because when you look at all the stats together, man, I mean, time of possession is not that big of a difference. It's only 35 minutes to 24 minutes for the Texans, right? But the Texans really just use their time of possession efficiently, because they actually are the lower of the time of possession. So that lets you know that they running down the field, scoring, getting points wherever it is, field goal, touchdown. They finishing their drives, and you could look at maybe the time of possession for the Browns as they were struggling to get down the field. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's a good win, man. Like I said, we said that the Texans would be kind of the dark horse, man, in that AFC South, right? And they showed it, man. They showed it, man, and they used it. They using all of their assets, man. I was really impressed to see not just CJ Stroud and his poise. I knew he had that dog in him, but I was more excited to see how the running game went, man. Like 5 yards of carry, man, for Devin Singletary. Like that's really good. That's really good. So, quarterback's best friend is a running game. So getting 5 yards a pop, just keeping the defense honest, I think that helped a lot, man. So congratulations to them, man. I'm honestly glad we ain't have to play Cleveland because, bruh, oh man, that's a tough one. Because it's a team that know you. You played them twice already. And I think we split it this season. So they could beat us. So I don't know. And then Flacco, like he coming back to play us, like I didn't want to see that. I didn't want to see that at all because I knew he was gonna play with some fire and everything. But I look forward to the matchup with Baltimore, man. It's gonna be interesting, man. I think we definitely gotta get after Stroud, man. But we'll get into that game. That's one of the previews. So the game I want to talk about out of this whole thing, man, is what about the Eagles, man? Bruh.
Ooh, bro, that was tough to watch, man. Like
Yeah, man.
that's got to be one of the biggest implosions. Just like over this last month or so, it's got to be one of the biggest implosions in NFL history. Just like what a fall from grace to say you were the NFC's representative last year, and you bring back pretty much everybody, damn near everybody.
Yeah,
And to start the season, the Eagles were looking like the clear cut favorite. You were looking really good. I was looking really good. And I don't remember the exact game, but I remember me and you talking about it. And me and you said, like, man, this could become an issue if they don't address it. And it didn't become addressed. And then they I don't even understand how they got out of the regular season. And I'm like, man, like I think like they could still beat the Bucks, but I did not see a 9 piece as anything that they should have been doing, man. They gave up 32 to Tampa. They made Baker. Hey, I mean, look, you know what me and you said last week? Baker wins this game, Baker's gonna get paid.
baby.
Baker freaking threw for over 300 yards, almost 350 yards, and 3 touchdowns, man. I mean, Rashad White ran for almost 100 yards. Man, they just seemed like they were running and gunning. Like, they look really good for sure. But, man, I don't know what's the bigger thing. Are the Bucks like that good or are the Eagles just that bad? And I'm starting to lean like the Buccaneers are a good team, but, man, that Eagles defense was atrocious,
Yeah,
especially compared to like what the standard they played to last year. It sucks, man. We don't even know Sirianni's coming back after all this. I mean, I would think they would retain him, but there are some talks about, man, like, I don't know for sure, but I agree with you. It definitely didn't go the way I expected.
nah, man. A shout out to Devontae Smith, the fellow Bama player, man. He balled out. 8 for 148, man. He was like, I ain't finna lose. Not my fault. So he balled out, man. But you know what? I did say Jalen Hurts shouldn't have to pass that much, man. And for real, he didn't have a bad game. I think this is
Mm,
all defense, bro.
That's defense, bro.
Yeah, this is all defense,
They
man.
just couldn't put the ball in the end zone either. It didn't help nobody, but still, I mean, you shouldn't be giving up 32 to Tampa.
Yeah, man. But here's the thing, man. They were 0 for 9 on third down all game.
Oh, that's not a good look.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then you go for it on fourth down and you miss it 2 times. So I mean, like nothing screams out. But I mean, when you look at their time of possession, man, I really like time of possession because in games like this, sometimes that's exactly what you need.
Hmm.
If the other team ain't on the field offensively, that's a good thing because they can't really score on you unless you turn the ball over. You know what I'm saying? So, but actually, this game was pretty clean. I don't think anybody turned the ball over. No fumbles lost or no interceptions thrown. So, that's not a terrible thing. You know what I'm saying? But when you can't convert on third down, man, not
Kept your
looking.
defense on the field too long.
Yeah, man. But one thing that needs to be addressed in the offseason, man, is running the football. Because we've seen all year with the Eagles, man, especially throughout that second half, that they couldn't run the ball at all. At all. I mean, we look at some of our fantasy games. How many points did Swift get any of us? You know what I'm saying?
Eh, I mean, it was up and down. Like he'd have a really good week, and then it would just drop. He'd drop like 22, and then it would drop off to like 6. It was very inconsistent.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of those like games where he busted out for 20 because he was hitting them in the passing game, not running.
Exactly.
Like, and I mean, you have a guy that is only averaging 3 yards a carry.
Mm-mm.
Like he's done that a lot throughout this season. So it's not like, you know, whatever. So I don't know if you have to fix the lineman because I
You need
really
a
don't.
bell cow.
Yeah, man. Or he's just not a guy that can run between the tackles. Because in my opinion, when I watched him at Georgia, it was a lot of sweeps. It was perimeter runs that really set him off. You know what I'm saying? Because he was so fast, right? And he could get to the edge. But as far as running between the tackles, man, maybe that's just not his thing. You know what I'm saying? And with a lot of running backs available, coming up,
Hey,
you should,
Derrick Henry's available.
yeah.
That
So
might have to be something you do.
yeah, because the offensive line to me is not that bad.
Mm-mm.
Not
But you
bad.
lost but you're losing your captain on offense with freaking Jason Kelsey retired. That's gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt, but I mean, it's time, man. I mean, he didn't play a long time. Like people
He's been
forget.
there since Andy Reid was there.
Yeah, so you already know it's that time, man. Like he got other endeavors to worry about, man. And he doing other things, family guy, you know what I'm saying? So he has to really consider all of that. You know what I'm saying? And fun maybe to win another Super Bowl because he does have one. But it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no big deal about retiring because they can find a guy to be a center, or they can find a really good center to fill that void. Like maybe not in terms of leadership, but in terms of really being able to play, man, he can definitely do his thing. They gonna be all right. I just want to know one how they gonna fix the defense because that was really bad, and then how are they gonna fix the hole in the offensive line because Jalen Hurts hasn't played bad this season in my opinion. I think
Mm-mm.
he was
For the
worth.
most part.
I think he was worth the extension they gave him because they didn't lose a lot of games because of him. Because a lot of times, he's not a quarterback that's gonna beat you to bring you back in the game. His game is not like that. You know what I'm saying? But as far as keeping the chains moving and ball control offense, man, he can do that. And he can beat you downfield too. So it's not like that. But what I'm saying is you can't be playing from behind with him. because his level of passing just ain't there yet. So you have to fix that on defense because there's some games where they have been having to score 40 points, man. And me and you know in the SEC, he wasn't that kind of quarterback. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And even when he went to Oklahoma, it wasn't really like that. Because when he got down against y'all, what happened? Nothing. Couldn't come back, right? Because it's hard to do that. Now, he's getting better and better, but it's just he's not built like that. So this team has to get better, man. But enough about the Eagles, man. Let's give the Buccaneers some love, man,
Baker, bro.
because Baker, man, this is the player that I think the Browns thought they was drafting, man. And
Hmm.
I don't really put that on him, the failures with the Browns. I don't really think so. I think it was just the culture, man. It's just not a good culture, man. I don't know. Maybe it was different when they was in Cleveland the first time, and like that was the original Cleveland Browns team. So the culture was kind of like different, it was really the dog pound, right? But this new era of the Browns, it's just they can't get out of their own way, it seems like. They've
It's
had
always something.
Yeah, they've like think about it. When the Browns got their team back, man. Like I know it's off topic, but like when the Browns got their team back in like the 2000s, right? They ain't really had no identity. Like just
No, they were pretty much like an expansion team, but they were an old team, but pretty much like an expansion team.
Yeah, no, and then fast forward till now. It's the same when they got Baker. It was the same thing. No identity, right? And Baker seemed like he was trying to help them get an identity, but they was like almost hating on him. Like,
It was like they were trying to suppress him and like his personality and like the way he played. Like it just felt like there was always more negative. Like they would never praise him, especially after he led them to the playoffs, got them a playoff win for the first time, and it didn't even seem like they were even really caring.
yeah, man. Like, and
He
I
just needs a
feel,
little support, bro. If you show that you support him, like he's all in. Like
yeah, man. Like, you go like through a couple coaches there, between him starting and all of that, and then you win, and you act like a winning quarterback's not gonna get a lot of commercials. It's gonna happen. He just went to the playoffs, man. He literally just went to the playoffs for a Cleveland Browns team that hadn't won anything in the last 20 years, 30 years, honestly. So you're gonna have commercials. So like they making fun of him, like, oh, another Baker commercial. Like he's not really playing. Like, bro, he literally just succeeded. And then, I feel like when he was with them, you know, losing, a guy with a chip on his shoulder not gonna like to lose, man. And I just feel like the culture, like you said, they were trying to force him to be, I guess, a company guy. And Baker's not like that, man.
no, no, he's not.
Baker is not a company guy at all. So, but now fast forward to him getting traded from there and then finally finding his home in Tampa Bay. I feel like this is a perfect spot for him, man. Like one
Hmm.
thing, like not to compare him to Tom Brady because they're pretty much apples and oranges, except for one thing. They have the biggest chip on their shoulder of any
Hmm.
quarterback I've ever seen. Like anytime I think about Tom Brady, I think about the chip on his shoulder. Like it seemed like every year Tom Brady was trying to prove something to somebody or himself maybe. And that's the same thing I feel about Baker Mayfield with Tampa Bay right now. When Tom Brady came there, he was like, I'm trying to prove something. And then when Baker gets there, it's like, man, look, I know I'm a good quarterback. So I'm trying to prove to not only myself that I'm good, but everybody else. And he's looking like it's like that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think the team, is like outstanding, but they have a lot of outstanding pieces that make a really good team. On
Hmm.
defense, I really like David. I like David a lot, man. He's one of those guys that I really watch at linebacker, man. And then Antoine Winfield, I really like him, man. He
He has a
just
wife
look,
too.
Yeah, Devin White, exactly, man. So them guys just know how to ball. So I like their defense a lot, man. But offensively, man, it just they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They played to their strengths, man. They ran the ball really well, actually, and then Baker ain't make no turnovers. So you ball control and they ain't make no turnovers. So shout out to them, man, getting this win, man, because I feel like this was huge for the playoffs. Because if the
Mhm.
Eagles get there, I don't know if they make it past the next round. I don't even know who they will play
Mhm.
in the next round, but I know,
Nah.
it probably wouldn't be pretty because
Mm-mm.
the team seemed like they was already defeated anyway. But you see that last touchdown though that the Bucks scored, like it was crazy. Like Baker was getting pressured and he just threw it up there, and Godwin just found the ball.
That's
Yeah.
but that's Baker, bro. And I think that's what's really benefited him. There were no expectations. Like remember when so he went to Carolina, it didn't work. He got traded to the Rams, no expectations. And look what happened. Now he's going to a team Tampa who has more talent, got a good defense, he's got weapons, no expectations. Nobody me and you did not expect them. Did me and you pick them? Damn, I think we picked them to be like the worst freaking team in the division. Now I feel dumb. And dude, credit where it's due, man. No expectations, and he balled out. And I'm really proud of him, man. I hope he gets a nice paycheck. Look, I know they play in the same division as the Saints, but I've been wanting to see him succeed since he was in college, man. It just seemed like he just couldn't find the right situation, and I feel like this could be the right situation for him for sure.
I agree, man. I'm actually excited, man. One more thing, before we get into this last game, because we already know where we're going with it. But I was actually excited about Todd Bowles, man, being able to get a playoff win, man, because it was tough, man. He had a winning team with the with the Jets, right? And then they just fell off when they drafted Darnold, right?
Whew.
And then they
Yep.
fired him for Adam Gase.
Oof.
and that was and that was even worse, bro. That's what's crazy about that. That was the worst. That was like
They fired him for Mr. Googly Eyes.
yeah, man. And then like then he gets the defensive coordinator job with the Bucks, man. And then the heir
Mhm.
apparent to what's the name?
Bruce Arians.
Yep, there you go. So, like that was cool, man. I'm glad to see him finally get a playoff win. And that's all right, man. Like I said, they go in the next round. I don't know who they play. I think it's what 49ers, maybe, maybe.
Let's see.
I don't know.
They no. So the Bucks are playing the Lions, which is probably gonna be the next thing we talk about. But yeah, they're going to Detroit to play them.
Okay, okay, no, it's a good matchup. I like it. I'm actually looking forward to that one, man. But this last game of our recap from a wild card weekend was the Cowboys and the Packers. Yo, tell
Mm-mm.
me when I'm telling lies. Dak is a quarterback that knows how to clean up his own mess.
He couldn't.
When I told you that in the preseason, I told you he is a quarterback that's good at cleaning up his own mess, right? But this
Dude had
mess
60
was
pass
too
attempts.
this mess was too much because he caught
Oh man, I don't
you
even have to
can't
see the rest of the stats, bro. The fact that he threw the ball 60 times,
six,
that's already alarming.
60 times, bro. But
Like
but you know what? I don't really get. I'm not. That's not the stat that's alarming to me. The
and
stat that's
interceptions.
alarming. I mean, 60 is a lot, but they was behind a lot too. So you can't
Hmm.
really run the ball too much when you down like 40 points. But the stat that's alarming to me, man, is the fact that they got 500 yards of offense.
Dude,
Yeah.
Romeo Dobbs, 6 catches for 151 yards, bro. He freaking torched them.
Yeah, they have, but that's the thing. The Cowboys have 500 yards of offense, and they
And they
only scored
lost.
32 points. That doesn't compute well to me.
No,
500. When you
it
got
doesn't.
500 yards of total offense,
I better win the game.
usually you gonna have like 40 points, maybe more than that.
And 40 damn near 50 points.
Yeah, but the Packers had 400 yards of offense. They
They scored
scored
48.
48 points.
They made the most of their opportunities though, man. I mean, they got in the end zone.
Man,
Jones had 3 touchdowns. Love had 3 touchdowns. Like, I mean, they knew how to score.
like, and it's not even the fact that he had 3 touchdowns, bro. It's the fact that he almost went 100% as far as passing.
He
Excuse me,
did 60 for
completion
21,
percentage.
bro.
Yeah, like that's crazy, bro. Crazy. And then look, what's even worse about this whole thing is the fact that while you getting torched by Jordan Love, which we never saw coming, you gave up 5 yards of carry to Aaron
Aaron
Jones,
Jones
and he
and
got
three
three
touchdowns.
touchdowns. That's crazy to me, man. That is
That's
6 touchdowns already, bro. That's 36 points coming from your quarterback and your running back. That's crazy. And then you throw in the fact that I think they had a pick six in this game too. Like, come on, man. What's going on, man? And then the elephant
mm-mm.
in the room, obviously, you bring up Dak's 60 passing attempts, right? But at the same time, bro, dude, what you gonna do when you down by that much? I mean,
And
they
two
was
picks didn't
down
help. That's for sure.
like they was down 27-7 at halftime.
So he
Okay,
knew he was got to go guns blazing in the second
right.
half.
But this is more about the defense, bro, because when they came in from the third quarter, they gave up 14 more points. You
That's
gave up.
crazy. The fact that that defense even gave up that many points to start with. That's the crazy
Yeah,
thing.
man. And that was kind of I guess that was one of the things that people was really liking about the Cowboys was their defense,
Their
man.
defense.
Yeah, like I felt like if they played a better game on defense than offense, they could be okay because that would mean that you're affecting Jordan Love. But
Mhm.
man, they didn't touch him at
Uh,
all.
that dude probably had a clean jersey at the end of the
Yeah,
game.
man, like yo, and Jesus, man. But this was shocking to me, man. I didn't
Neither one of us saw that coming.
Yeah, I don't think so. But man, that was a good game, dog, for the Packers anyway. I was actually excited to see Jordan Love play, because I didn't really think they was gonna make the playoffs for real this year because I was like, oh, his new guy is finally his job, right? But one positive I remember saying in the preseason was that LaFleur had to kind of conform his offense to Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. So he just not gonna listen and he gonna do what he want to do. But I felt like with Jordan Love, he could kind of conform his offense to Jordan Love. He didn't have to really bend, no back talk for real. He can mold him into the quarterback that he want to do. And
Hmm.
yo, it's looking good, man. Looking good. And for real, if you really look at Jordan Love, man, as like the whole season is concerned, man, he's really played pretty good this year. I mean, dude, like if he's not a Pro Bowler, I don't even know how they do it, but in my opinion, 4,100 yards, 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, and a 96 passer rating screams Pro Bowler to me. Maybe when we grew up, that screamed Pro Bowl. I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty good to me. So
Man, it's a good thing for his first season as a starter. I mean, I don't know if it's Pro Bowl worthy, but man, that's a hell of a good season for a guy who hasn't started a full season yet.
exactly, man. That was pretty cool, man. So, but yeah, man, definitely one of the craziest wild card weekend games that I've been a part to watch, man, because like that took me for a loop. Didn't even expect it, man. So before we get into the preview, man, of the next round, let's review our records, man. Let's see what we got here. See what we
All
got.
right.
I don't even know how I
So,
did. I think I
so
suck.
our first game we had was Cleveland and Houston. You picked Cleveland. I picked Houston. So that's 1 for me, 0 for you right now, 0-1. We both picked Miami to win, so we both took the loss on that one, unfortunately.
So I'm
So
0-2.
okay, 1-1. We both picked Dallas, so we both took another L on that one. Okay. We both picked Detroit to get the win. So that makes so you 1-3, 2-2 for me, okay. And then we both picked Buffalo to beat the Steelers.
Yeah. Mike Tomlin
Okay.
is fucking awesome, man.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin is so awesome, man.
And then I picked Tampa and you had picked Philly.
Yeah.
So 4-2 and then 2-4. But I mean, it could have went either way, bro. I mean, we were both on the fence about the Cowboys, but I mean, I think we were just going with the safe pick right there.
Nah, man,
And I think
I feel like we was confident on the Cowboys. I feel like we talked about it, and I feel like we both were saying that the Cowboys had the better team, and we knew
yeah.
that maybe that their depth and them being really good and more established than the Packers will give them the edge, man. I felt like maybe this was Dak Prescott's time, man, and then poof, back to Dak Prescott last year. You know what I'm saying?
And
So
the year before, and the year
year
before, and
before
then the year
that.
before.
So honestly, he didn't really change nothing, man. So I'm cool. I'm cool with my picks, man. I stand on them, man. My Super Bowl picks are completely destroyed. So yeah. So all right. So 2-4 going in this week. All right. So let's get into round two, the divisional round preview, man. So we can start off with yeah, we start off with the Ravens, man. They're the number one seed. My Ravens are the team to beat, man. So my thing is hopefully we can use this time to just get back to what we do, man. Not change nothing for real. Just go out there and play our game. So I'm going with the Ravens, man. That's my pick. You know how it goes, man. I like CJ Stroud, man. And we played him early in the season, so he's come a long way from then. So I want us to get after him, man. Like just put his face in the turf, grass, whatever we got. Just tackle him all the time. Just no matter what it is, man. I ain't saying hurt the dude, but we gotta let him feel it. You know what I'm saying? It's a different ball game. So um I'm looking forward to it, man. My keys to the game, if I had to say anything, would probably be Lamar Jackson's turnovers and third down. You know what I'm saying? I know it's kind of like a cop out, whatever, third downs, but it's really important, man. If we can't keep our defense fresh like we've been doing all year for real, then we're gonna be in trouble, man. But the third downs and Lamar Jackson's turnovers, man, because that was my whole thing coming into this season. I told you that's why I really didn't pick the Ravens to go to Super Bowl because last year or even before, even the years after Lamar Jackson won the MVP, it was like turnovers were the biggest issue. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I'm saying? We would be killing people and then turnovers to keep them right in the game. So my thing is, so far this season, the turnovers have been down a lot, which may mean success. So, but I'm actually going with the Ravens, man. That's my squad. I'm going with the Ravens, man, since I ain't got no Super Bowl picks left.
So I think off top, the advantage goes to Baltimore because it's in Baltimore, and I feel like they play really good on the road, but I feel like they play really good at home too.
Thank
I think my biggest thing to look out for is pass rush. If they do not get in that backfield with him, he will pick them apart. I promise you. That's not even like up for debate. They are a quick team, just like you said before. They can score in a hurry. And if you're not getting pressure on him, he's gonna make that secondary he's gonna torch them. I think Baltimore is questionably the best team in the league. For sure, the best team in the AFC for sure. I love Lamar. I hope he does get another MVP, and I would love to see him get a Lombardi. But I feel like I've been on the Houston bandwagon all year. And if I got to take a game where I'm going to take a risky one and go all the way, I'm going to pick Houston, man. I'm not the most confident in it, but I feel like if there's anybody in the AFC that could stun Baltimore, I think Baltimore can handle Kansas City. I think Baltimore can handle Buffalo. I just think Houston's just kind of a different team on a different mission. Like, I don't know if they're built to make it to the Super Bowl in year one. I don't necessarily think that. But like I said, if they don't get pressure on CJ Stroud, this game's going to go down to the wire for sure. I don't think Lamar's going to have issues with turnovers. I think he's going to be able to lead them up and down the field. But if Houston's defense plays anything like they did against Cleveland last week, then it'll definitely be an interesting game. More than likely, Baltimore gets the win just because I think they're more loaded. It's a home game. Lamar's playing on a different level. But I'm going to go with the risky pick. I'm going Houston to stun the Ravens.
No, why would you do that? Why would you do that? That's horrible, man. That's a horrible pick. You should just pick the Ravens, man. At least you could have went down with me if it happens, man. It's horrible, man.
I keep bringing up. I think my main thing is because that Tennessee game's still in my memory bank, and obviously you guys are not the
Mine
same
too.
team. They're not the same team. A lot's changed, and I think they're in a much better place. But like me and you have said, anytime you get that bye week, dude, there are so many other tangibles that can come up. I don't necessarily think it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna bank on that. Man, that extra week may hurt them for sure, but we'll wait and see.
Well, all right. So 19 was like, uh, dude, it was a vibe, man. We was out killing everybody, bro. Like we was killing everybody, and we peaked like,
Too early.
yeah, we peaked like in the middle of the season or the third quarter of the season. Like, so that's where we really peaked at. And then, we won like a lot of games in a row, bro. Like after that second loss, we won a lot of games, bro. And maybe it was some things that we weren't doing right, right? And you get into the game and it's like, well, we've been doing this all season. Tennessee does the things that we need to do right. All that's what they play like. They gonna run the ball, and we didn't do that later in the season for real. Like we was just kind of making highlight plays with Lamar, and then just suffocating people. But then they did the same thing to us. Like they just suffocated Lamar, and that was it. Like that was it. Like once they got up to like 21 something, that was it, bro. It was done. Because we couldn't really do nothing because we really ain't have the offensive weapons that we have this year. So when we get into a dogfight like that, you can't really get out of it because you ain't got no weapons. I mean, we had maybe Marquise Brown. He was sort of hit or miss. Um, but after that, that was it, man. It really wasn't no serious pass threat weapons except for Mark Andrews. You know what I'm saying? But that's it. And now this year, I think is a little different. I think we got a lot more weapons. Zay Flowers, we got Odell, and I want to say Bateman too. I think he's still on there. Then you end up having, our Swiss Army knife Chuck Bednarik Player of the Year and Pat Ricard. He plays fullback and linebacker. So what are we doing? What is this? But you know what? He is a perfect inline like tight end hybrid. So he be springing Lamar on them runs, springing the running backs because they really can't account for him because he's a damn good catch. He can catch the ball. He got some good hands too. So so I think he's a big piece. You got a weapon like him, and then you add Dalvin Cook to the thing. I don't expect him to have like a big role in the game, but I expect him to kind of be a change of pace. You know what I'm saying? You obviously got Gus Edwards back there, so a change of pace and running back would be real good. So I'm thinking it'll be nice. That's the difference between 19 and this year. We got way more offensive weapons to attack a defense, man. So, like I said, I don't know, man. Like I said all year we have a Super Bowl defense, and we showed it this year. We got a Super Bowl defense. I told you, Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith are the best duo in the league, hands down. Like nobody sideline to sideline is better than those two. So I hope that they pay this man as soon as the season over. Hell, you could pay him now because you can't let him go for nothing, man. That's one of them LSU dudes that I really, really like. Man, I like them.
Magic Queen's nasty, bro.
Man, I liked them at LSU. I was like, dude. But then my Ravens got him. I was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will take Patrick Queen, man. But I got my Ravens winning this. I ain't gonna pick no score though, cause
No, I'm not doing that.
I
I
can't
don't
do
like doing
score. I can't do that, bro. I don't ever know. But
that.
what game in this division round you looking forward to, man?
Well, I mean, we got four to talk about, but I mean, if I gotta say, like, might be the most intriguing matchup, man, it's got to be Kansas City and Buffalo, man. Uh, Buffalo is on a hot streak right now, bro. They've reeled off about 5 or 6 in a row, and the Chiefs actually showed up last week. The Chiefs actually got a win that neither one of us was really sure they were going to get. Uh, Honestly, bro, I'm going Buffalo. I feel like if there's gonna be a year, Josh Allen's gonna get the best of the Chiefs. Like I've been picking against the Chiefs all year. I'm gonna keep doing it here, man. I think Buffalo is like really hot right now. I think Josh Allen's playing with a lot of confidence, and I'm still not sold. I mean, it's hard. A lot of people are never gonna pick against the Chiefs. I just think Buffalo's playing better ball right now. It was impressive that they were able to contain Miami's offense last week, but man, I gotta go Buffalo, man. I think Josh Allen, I think he's on a mission. I don't know if they make it to the Super Bowl, but man, I think they're gonna get the win this week against the Chiefs. And it's in Buffalo, so
So I don't know, man. I don't want to play the Chiefs, man. That's a team I don't want to play. If I'm Baltimore, man, like I do not want to play the Chiefs at home on a neutral field. I don't want to play them anywhere because it's like, bro, like they got Mahomes, man.
that's
Bro,
the cheat code.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like with you and Tom Brady when he was there. Did you ever feel like they was out of a game, bro?
Oh, they had games where like I felt like we might not win, but like in the back of my head, I'm like, look, we got this in the back of our pocket. Tom's
Yeah,
gonna keep us in this game, even if we're down by 25 or more. I mean, yeah, I would agree with you.
yeah, like, and that's how I feel about Mahomes. It's like they ain't never out of a game with a dude act there. Like in the Super Bowl, they
And that's the scary part because I can't even imagine what it would have been like in your shoes playing against us, especially in the years when man we had a really good rivalry with the Patriots and Ravens, and sometimes y'all got the best of us. But man, I know you was on pins and needles, just sitting like man, like I just don't know like what's about to
yeah,
happen. Like
yeah, cause like in the Super Bowl they just won against the Eagles. Like I didn't think they was gonna lose this game, bruh. I was like, ain't no way the Chiefs gonna lose this game because I'm like, they got a whole second half to really figure out what's going on. And then Mahomes gonna get a shot for that foot, and he not gonna feel it until he get home. And they gonna really ball out for the rest of this game. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm like, yo, I don't want to play the Chiefs, man. I don't want to do it, man. But if I had to pick this game, man, I want to pick Buffalo because I was stationed in Fort Drum, so I know how the snow is up there. I don't know, man. I don't know. Chiefs or Bills. Josh Allen or Mahomes.
hey, before you make your pick, I'm gonna remind you. Remember that discussion we had a while back? I'm never gonna pick the Chiefs. I'm not. No, I'm never gonna pick the Bills for nothing. Your
You
brother
right.
lost 3 or 4 Super Bowls in a row. I am not picking the Bills. I'm not trying to sway your decision. That was a funny thing I
Nah, you
thought of.
right. I'm not picking the Bills, man. Give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs. I'm not picking.
Dang, shots fired to Bills Mafia. Shots fired.
Yeah, man. I'm standing on that. I'm not picking the Bills for anything, bro. We lose 4 Super Bowls in a row. I'm not picking you for anything. I don't care. 4 Super Bowls in a row. There's people trying to get to a half a Super Bowl, man. Nobody.
Even get to the conference championship.
Yeah,
That's a Super Bowl.
nobody, 4 in a row, man. You telling me that's the worst luck ever, man. their luck continues to fall. Chiefs win the game. Chiefs will beat me.
Okay.
I'm
What do
not.
you got for this? What you got for this Packers and Niners game? Give me your spill. Who do you think's going to win?
All right, so
And
Packers.
it's in San Francisco, so
So Packers and 49ers. All right. So the 49ers obviously got the advantage in terms of star power, man. But you know what? The not the Packers, but the 49ers got the advantage in terms of star power. But the Packers, on the other hand, great win, man. Like you got a lot of momentum coming out of that wild card game. But you know what? I'm rolling with the 49ers, man, because I feel like their star power is better than their star power. You know what I'm saying? And as much as you want, I can say, oh, well, we did pick the Cowboys to do the same thing. But here's the thing, bro. It's different when you know your quarterback's really probably not going to lose you the game. You know, like one thing about Black Purdy is he don't really make mistakes like that. Like he don't really try to anyway. But I'm gonna go with the 49ers, man, just because I feel like they got a lot of weapons. And they know the Cowboys have some weapons too, man. But Tony Pollard ain't no Christian McCaffrey. You know what I'm saying? And Debo Samuel and ain't no Lamb. You know what I'm saying? Like he's way more valuable than Lamb is, in my opinion, because he can run, he can catch, he can block, all of that. So I feel like offensively they just got too much for the Packers defense, man. So I'd be surprised if the Packers, stay close in the game, because I feel like over the course of the game, it's just gonna be too much, man. And I mean, I ain't even start on defense. I feel like defensively, they just gonna chase Love around, man, which was surprising that didn't happen against the Cowboys, because they got one of the fastest pass rushers in the league Mekhi
Parsons.
Parsons. Yeah, so I don't know, man, but I think the 49ers got this one. Yeah, I think they got that one.
Okay. So I think the Packers are gonna make it a game. But I'll be honest with you, I think Brock Purdy's got a lot to prove, especially after he had that stinker game a few weeks ago. I think the guy's a good quarterback, man. And everybody's calling him a game manager, and everybody's saying, "Oh, you just loaded with talent." I think this kid's got ice in his veins, bro. And I think he's got a lot to prove. This is a high stakes playoff game. You got a shot at the NFC Championship on the line. Packers are playing really good football. They're kind of in a similar spot like the Bills. They're kind of hot right now. Uh, I think Jordan Love has a good game, but the Niners are too loaded, and I just think Brock Purdy's due for a really good game, and I think this could be that game, especially with how many weapons. I just don't see Green Bay. Green Bay has a good defense, but I don't see them being able to contain Kittle and Debo and Ayuk and McCaffrey.
I don't know about
It's too
Kittle.
much, man. And the 49ers defense is really good, especially with the linebackers and pass rush. Like, they're a really good team. There's a reason why I picked them to come out of the NFC. Like, it's going to be interesting. I think the Packers could keep it within 21, but I don't see the Niners getting stopped here. I've got the Niners winning and moving on to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, all right, man. Nah, but interesting. So we only split on this one.
No, we split on two games.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nah, I'm thinking about what we're talking about, but I'm also thinking about the 49ers have had two defensive coordinators become head coaches, man. That's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy to me. Like,
Robert Saleh and D'Amico Ryans.
yeah, so I'm just like, man, I wonder who's next, man. But our defensive coordinator on the Ravens is slated to be a head coach somewhere too. He got an interview with Atlanta, so
Belichick had a 3-hour interview with Atlanta.
sheesh. But you know what? I told you, man. They offensively got
And
a
we
lot
agreed.
of weapons, man. A lot of weapons. So that's the job right there. That's the best job to have next season, because
Yeah.
they're in a spot where they can get another quarterback if you don't believe in Desmond Ritter. then you in a spot where you can get another quarterback and surround him with weapons. You know, you got some. If you want to move up to try to get the quarterback that you want, you got a couple pieces that you could possibly
And
get.
they have the eighth pick, so they're not far off. They can move
Yeah,
up. They're
man.
within
Like
the top
I
10.
don't think every team in the top 10 needs a quarterback. I don't think that at all. So it's
There's
gonna
like
be,
three teams for sure. Like,
yeah, yeah. So it's not like, it's not crazy on a quarterback run like we've seen before. So I don't
mhm,
think it's gonna be like 8 of those teams or 7 of those teams all take quarterbacks. I don't think it's going to be like that because there's some really good players that play other positions. So you might just want to draft the best available, and not all the quarterbacks are better than Jared Verse or Dallas Turner or Marvin Harrison Jr. Like you got other weapons that you could get if you don't need a
mhm,
quarterback. So I think,
yeah.
but we could definitely look at that as we get into like our closing argument segment.
Mhm.
But I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I like Atlanta. That's the spot. All right, so
What?
this last game, Bucks and Lions. What a game! What a game, man. It's a good one.
Oh,
It's a good one, man. So all right, so obviously, man, you hate to bet against the you hate to bet against the Buccaneers, man, because they really balled out against the Eagles, man. But is they well, I don't know. I can't really trust their defense, man. I can't trust the fact that their defense was that bad, man. I just think I don't know. I don't know if Baker was that good or their defense was just that bad. I don't know. But you know what? I'm rolling with the Lions, man. I'm rolling with the Lions in this one, man. I'm gonna go with the Lions and keep this train rolling, man. We done picked them to be the winners of the NFC North this year. So I'm gonna roll with them, man. Hopefully they can keep this train rolling. And yeah, man, we can play against my Ravens in the Super Bowl. We could just suffocate them all game.
Now
Cause
if y'all got to play the Chiefs.
we gotta play the Chiefs, man. Sure, the Lions gotta play the Chiefs. They gonna lose that game too, man.
No,
Sure.
the Chiefs are going to want to be on revenge tour because they beat them the first game.
Yeah, exactly. See what I'm saying? We gotta keep the Chiefs out at any cost, man. I'm
Thanks.
because like, bro, I don't like Mahomes is just like he's on Tom Brady level of like pettiness, bro. Like I just don't
No,
use
he's more petty than Tom in my opinion. Like Tom's really petty, but I think Mahomes might have him beat like low key.
man. That's like the level of hate, man, in terms of fandom. Like I did not like Tom Brady because I told you it's like even when you thought they was gonna lose that game against Atlanta, bro, that Super Bowl. Like I was like everybody like, oh, Atlanta's gonna win. I was like, dude, no, they not.
Like y'all just don't know who y'all messing with,
I'm
bro.
like, bro, come on, man, dude. A couple of my teams have lost to Tom Brady in Super Bowls and playoff games. So I already know what the deal is. You know what I'm saying? No, it's not happening. That's the same way I feel about Mahomes, bro.
Mhm.
I just don't want him to I don't want him to get nowhere else in this playoffs, man. I just don't because it's gonna be simple, bro. Like once he figure out how to use everybody on the team, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. That's all
Mhm.
this all Tom Brady did. Like once he figured out how to use Edelman or figure out how to use Danny Whitehead, Wes Welker, then he got Randy Moss, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? He's already good, and then you lose players, and then Deion Branch leaves, then comes back, and he's really good again. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we gonna do here? You know what I'm saying? Once he figures out how to do that, it's over. So I hope he don't
Mhm.
figure it out. At least one game or whatever. But I just don't want to. I don't want my Ravens to have to play him, bro. I don't.
Understandable.
I
I
don't.
uh I really like Baker, man, but like you said, like I think Tampa's got a good team, but I think it's another case like that 49ers game, man. I think Detroit's got too much. Detroit's ultra talented on defense, man. They are hungry. They are talented, bro. They get in your they get in your stuff, bro. Like the secondary is good. They've been doing really good in the pass rush. Man, look, we've been talking about this outside of the podcast, but I'm just gonna make it known now. Jared Goff is that guy, bro. I did not care for him when he was in LA. I thought he was overrated. I didn't really care for him. But man, the level of adversity he had to face to one, be pretty much a lottery pick, get traded from the original team to a situation where nothing seemed clear at all. Has a good year, whatever. Another year goes by. They draft Hendon Hooker. So now you're thinking, okay, they're going to replace Jared Goff with Hendon Hooker. Jared Goff goes out and elevates his game again and plays really good football, man. The Lions are that team. We've been talking about this since freaking August. That Detroit is on a different level, man. I think the Buccaneers have a good team. They don't have enough to beat the Lions, bro. I'm sorry. Like, Detroit is on a mission. And their mission is to make it to the NFC Championship game and to try to make it to the Super Bowl. They're loaded. I like Tampa. I like Baker. They're not getting out of Detroit. And it's in Detroit. Nah, not happening, bro. That's over with. Give me the Lions, bro. Give me the Lions by 14 or 21 off top.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think the Lions will get this one, man. Well, I'm looking at Jared Goff's career stats, man. The dude is, if he can, string together some really good years with Detroit, he's trending on like a Hall of Fame career, man. I don't really look at like awards and stuff for real, although they're important.
Statistics.
Well, all right, so I look at All Pro. That's like the award that really stands out to me if we're talking about Hall of Fame cases, because that puts you at the top of your position in terms of voting, right? But if you're looking at his thing, 30,000 yards,
Dude, he
185 touchdowns, and only 82 interceptions so far, and a career passer rating almost at 94. That's crazy to me. That's
Bro,
pretty good.
this year he threw for 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, and only 12 picks, dude. His QBR was almost top 10. Like he's trending like some of these years. He's thrown for over 40, almost 4,500 yards in back-to-back years. His last year in LA, he threw for almost 4,000. Dude, you're right.
He's trending on Hall of Fame a level, man. I mean, he's gonna be a Pro Bowler this year. However that goes, like I said, I don't know how the Pro Bowl works now. It's either you vote for it or they play, but I don't know. They don't know how it works. But
It shouldn't even be a game anymore. But I
yeah,
mean, dude,
he's trending, bro. I'm telling you, like this looks really good in my opinion, man. Like I
his
said,
completion percentages stay consistent. Like he's been hovering around 67%
yeah,
the
like
last 3 or 4 years.
yeah. See what I'm saying? Like that's crazy, man. It's like he picked up where he left off last season, where he ended. Like,
Yeah,
like he ain't,
It's mirror for last year.
yeah, like he literally ain't stopped. So, like I said, man, he's trending on a Hall of Fame level, in my opinion, man. So I'm excited to see where he goes, man. I really think he's probably going to extend after this season, regardless of what happens. So I look forward to seeing him play, man. And like I said, man, as much as I like Matthew Stafford, man, what was the biggest thing for him? Turnovers.
True, and in the worst moments too.
Yeah, like that. Like it was just one of the things that kept them from winning there was turnovers. Now, don't get me wrong, they had some rough years, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, turnovers, man. Like he's not the most accurate guy, but he can give you 5,000 yards, man. You just might have to deal with like 15 or more interceptions. You know what I'm saying?
That's the good thing about Jared Goff. He's not a turnover machine. Like he only
Not
had
at
one
all.
year in his career with 19. He threw 16 picks. But after that, you've seen it drop down and kind of stay low. I mean, he's not a turnover machine. And I mean, now he's in a stable situation. Like, Detroit's a viable. Like, look, man, I don't know who we would have picked to make the NFC Championship game before the season, but I feel like we both probably would have said the Niners. And like, I feel it would probably interchange between the Niners and the Eagles, and probably might have had Detroit in that conversation.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, they're trending in a really good direction for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, man. So I mean, and just looking at like we can get into the kind of closing arguments with this segment right here. But when you look at the Matt Stafford, I'm looking at his stats too, man. He's a Hall of Fame player too. I mean, I don't know if he's first ballot, but I do think he has a case. I mean, 56,000 yards, 357 touchdowns with 180 interceptions, you know what I'm saying? So, his passer rating is like 91, but like I said, he's a gunslinger, so I don't expect that to be that high. But the fact that, he has all these touchdowns, man, it's crazy to me, man. Like he is good, dude. Like really good, man. Like for real. And he's got a Super Bowl, so you know how that.
Yeah, that definitely helps his case.
Yeah, it definitely helps his case, man. So
And when they won the Super Bowl, I mean, he had a good year, man. Almost 5,000 yards, 41 touchdowns. The interceptions, like you said before, were still kind of high at 17. But I mean, hey, I mean, he did enough for them to make it to the Super Bowl, and they ended up winning.
yeah, man. So like I said, man, like I said, he averages about 10 interceptions a year. If you look at all his years combined, like it's literally about 10, you know?
Yeah,
So I mean, you're gonna get them.
it's pretty much like Brett Favre, just not as good.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't
You
know.
think better? You think better than Brett Favre? I don't know, man.
Brett Favre to me cost this team so many chances to win with good teams. Good teams. You know what I'm saying? When I look at Matthew Stafford, I don't really think he cost his team the game because they were bad teams anyway. They were not Super Bowl teams. But Brett Favre literally had a couple of Super Bowls that he should have won, but literally cost his team the game with his decision making. And I get it. That's what Brett Favre does. That's how he plays. But at some point, you got to learn your lesson. You got to know that this stuff, this gunslinger stuff, is not helping you. So you got to make better decisions at some point. And when he was later in his career, he was doing the same stuff he was doing. That's the reason why he led the league in touchdowns and interceptions for his career.
Well, I
Because
mean, you seen his last deep playoff run. You seen what ended up losing them that game
yeah, throwing across his body across the middle. So yeah, you know what I'm saying?
to the same guy who picked off Peyton Manning.
Yep. So there you go. There you go. You know how that goes. So I think Stafford was way better than Brett Favre. In terms of like what he had to deal with. I mean, Detroit was it was tough winning in Detroit, man. It was tough, bro. But he did get them to
Even
the
when he had
playoffs.
Calvin.
He did get them to the playoffs 3 times though. So I can definitely say that that's a good thing.
And you got to think the NFC North, like when he played, like when he
It
got
was
drafted, like
tough.
'09. I mean, look at it. You had Green Bay, who just left off of Favre, now they had Aaron Rodgers. The Bears were respectable with Jay Cutler, and they were really loaded at one point too. Then you look at the Vikings; they had Favre. They interchanged a couple quarter. They always had Adrian Peterson, so they were always in the freaking
And a
mix.
good
Like
defense.
that was a really good division. Like how I look at the NFC, the AFC North right now, it's kind of like how I look at the old NFC North at that point. Like just hard nosed, good teams. Like you don't know who's gonna end up coming out on top. Like that's how I feel like they had to deal with.
Yeah, man. Like that was one of the toughest divisions in football, man. So, you know, you never know, man. Like I said, I don't know. I just think when I look at their whole careers, I just thought that Matthew Stafford was good, way better than what Favre was, especially considering what he had to work with. So that your team makes you a better quarterback, man. Sometimes you
Mhm.
just can't, you just can't wing it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like other quarterback, like Tom Brady made his team better, you know, and Stafford did the same thing. But I feel like Brett Favre sometimes made his team a lot worse because some of the stuff he had to do, he didn't really have to do that. He had to do that, bro. So like
But you gotta respect the gunslinger mentality though.
I
Ride or die
do.
with the
I do,
ball.
man, but sometimes, man, you just look at
Yeah, I do agree though, because like they had a few times like when we were younger, that, like I liked Brett Favre a lot as a kid, and this is before they even had Aaron Rodgers. Man, I think it was like '05. Was it '05 or '06? They had a really good team, and they made it to the NFC Championship game, and they should have won said NFC Championship game, but just turnovers, man, like needless turnovers.
man, I'm telling you. So that's my whole thing. I definitely like Brett Favre and Matthew Stafford, man, but dude, telling you, I don't like that at all. I don't like the turnovers he made all the time, man. It just bothered me so much, man. But let's get into some draft talk, man. Before we get into some the last part of it, the college football talk, man. But what you think about the draft, man? So we kind of got our top teams sort of sorted out because I think now that the playoffs is over, I mean not the playoffs are beginning and the season is over, the top teams are kind of set. So
Yep, I'm looking. I'm pulling up. I got the draft order right here in front of me.
yeah, that's what I was looking up too.
So Carolina gave up their first pick to Chicago. The more I think about it, I don't see the Bears drafting a quarterback here.
I
I
don't.
think Chicago's more than likely if they're gonna draft at number one. I don't I feel like if you're not taking Caleb Williams or a quarterback at one, I feel like the Bears are gonna trade back for more assets. This is my because I don't see them taking a skill position player like a Marvin Harrison or something with the first pick. I just don't see it. Uh I mean, they could do it, but I mean, you know how like seldom that happens. I mean, I think the Bears are trying to move in a direction where they're trying to set their team up for longevity. I think the smartest thing here is do trade that first pick. You don't even have to trade outside of the top 10. You could probably still stay in the top 10 and get hella assets back, draft picks, players, whoever. Uh,
Agree.
I think Washington is a really interesting pick right there. Like, I wonder if Washington's going to try to trade into that first spot, being that they're at two.
Um, they will have to do it to the point where they don't lose the second pick, though.
Yeah, I could see the Commanders really going hard for Caleb Williams. Honestly, like
I could too.
I think like I don't know who they're bringing in as the head coach, but like if the Bears don't take him, I really think the Commanders go with Caleb Williams if they get the chance to, for sure.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's a lot more. I think it's a lot more complicated than people think, man. I think people are looking at Caleb Williams as a guy.
Oh, you think his stock's falling still?
Yeah, I think once you get into the point where you think about, do I really want to deal with the other shenanigans?
That is true. And now that you mention that, you got to think the Commanders are going in a new regime. Like they fired Ron Rivera, they're trying to go in the right direction. Oh man, it comes back to the conversation me and you had. If he falls, like
If he
because
falls, New England takes the bump.
I feel like if the Commanders don't take him, I don't see the Patriots taking him, especially with a first year new head coach. I don't think they're going to go with somebody with that much like question marks. I feel like
Has
they're
he
going to go with a
has he
guy.
declared for the draft yet?
Yeah,
Okay, all right. Because
that I'm aware of. I mean,
I
they've
was
had plenty.
reading.
I don't remember the actual report saying he did, but at the same point, I mean, he's been having this whole back and forth banter for like the last few months. So I mean,
Yeah, I was reading something to the point where he was saying that he wasn't gonna declare yet if Chicago was gonna draft him or something like
I
that.
don't think it. I think it would be a horrible idea for him to stay.
But it'd be
I think
stupid. It's stupid enough. It's stupid for him to even say not to go to Chicago because Chicago is booming right now. They got DJ Moore at receiver. They got a nice little running back. I mean, they got the ninth overall pick too, which could be a receiver as well. So I mean, I don't understand why you wouldn't want to go there. What you gonna go to Washington? They really don't have. They really don't have. They got Terry McLaurin
they
and
got Terry McLaurin, Brian Robinson, Curtis Samuel. I think that's really all they have on offense, to be honest with you.
yeah, but I mean, you could win with that too. Like
Yeah.
those are two,
If you
those,
have the right guy under center.
and then you go to New England. Now, I don't know what New England has on offense, but I mean, that's not a bad spot because their defense is really good. So you know you're gonna be able to have a good defense while you're there. I
I
mean,
just don't see them taking a chance on him. Like, I feel like them not having Bill Belichick, like, I feel like they're not going to take that big of a freaking chance.
but I also think that that's a spot for either Michael Penix or Jaden Daniels.
I've been hearing a lot about, not just because I want him to go there, but I've been hearing a lot about Jaden Daniels going to the Patriots. I just think it's a really good fit.
I
Just
think
his
they
style of
passed up.
play.
I think they passed up on Lamar, and that bothered them a lot. So I don't think you would pass up on somebody that's of that same skill set again. I don't think
I
so.
agree.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Mac Jones, I do, but he needs to be somewhere else. Just because it's not working. It's not working.
Yeah,
And don't get me
I
wrong.
agree.
Don't get me wrong. It could have just been Bill Belichick and his lack of offensive philosophy at times.
I don't know, man.
But I don't know because I still think like that, not that, but Mac Jones played really well in that first season, right? He played really well. There was some things there were really good. I don't think that those things should just be thrown away. Like he really played
Mm-mm.
good. So
I
I
think
don't
he just needs to be in a different situation.
yeah, so I don't really know if it's the system or it's just need another change of scenery. I'm not sure because I don't think that that season was just a fluke because he played good that second season too, like before he got hurt or whatever. So I don't really know. I don't know. So that's interesting for me. Like we can just do like the top five what we think they need or
Where do you see Arizona going here? Because
uh
I think they're trading Kyler, but like I haven't heard about them drafting a quarterback.
I don't think they trade Kyler, man.
You don't think so?
I think that last few games that they had with Kyler when he came back, I think they like, okay, I think we got something here. I think they kind of renewed confidence in Kyler Murray through those last
Hmm.
few games, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like beating the Eagles was a good stepping stone because he not only played really well, but they won the game. So I feel like I think that's really good. I mean, it's hard to find a franchise quarterback. And when you draft the guy number one, you don't really need to keep drafting guys as your first pick. I mean, they did Josh Rosen, and then it's like, oh well, we don't want to do that. We want to go for Kyler Murray. And then, all right, cool. But do you really want to keep doing that? You really got a guy that can really be really good for you. You just need
Hmm.
to not only treat him with respect, but actually him need to learn how to be a leader. And I feel like if you trade him, you're just making the cycle go around again. Like he's not accountable for his actions. If
Hmm.
you trade him somewhere else, he's gonna probably do the same thing at that place and then be washed out of the league because nobody want to deal with it. So I feel like if you keep him and you just like have an understanding, like, no, you're our guy, but you need to act like it. I think when you have that kind of conversation, I think it could really go. So that's why
Hmm.
I don't think that they're gonna trade him or anything. I think they're gonna have this conversation like, what do you need and how do we help you? And this is how you can help us. I think they're gonna have that conversation.
So do
And
you think they go receiver in that spot?
I think so. I think so. I think if Marvin Harrison is available, I would get him. But I also think that with how Kyler Murray plays and how Marvin Harrison is not a speed demon, I think they go Odunze. I actually think he might be the first receiver taken off the board, in my opinion, because I feel like his speed alone is like really good to me. You know what I'm saying? I think Marvin Harrison has the greatest catch radius of all the receivers in here. I think he can catch anything, everything. But as far as being able to take the top off of defense, I think you can do it. I don't know if you can put uh, Marvin Harrison in the slot and have him really affect the defense like that because I don't think his speed's that elite. But when I think of Odunze, I think his speed at the slot against a linebacker or a safety is elite. He can do that. And he's not bad at catch radius, too. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
also, a sleeper guy is your guy from LSU, man. Don't forget Neighbors in there, man. Because, like I said, it only takes one team to fall in love with you. So if they felt like, man, he was killing SEC secondaries all year, ain't nothing tougher than the SEC. So that could get you somewhere too. You know what I'm saying? Because we've seen it happen a bunch of times. You know what I'm saying? A guy playing the SEC, they draft him just because he played down there. Like he played against the toughest competition, man. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work sometimes, but then sometimes it does. You never know. So, but as far as the next team on the list, the Chargers, man, they don't need a quarterback. I would think they go receiver, bro.
Again, though? I mean, well, this is the thing. You took Johnson last year. I'm assuming they're not bringing Mike Williams back.
I don't think so either. Because it's
And
been
then Keenan Allen's getting up in age.
yeah,
But do you
that's
really? But do you use that high of a draft pick on a receiver? I mean, it's pretty deep with receiver this year. So I mean, it's not like they couldn't get a good weapon. But I mean, I don't know what their needs are really. Because I
well,
mean, their defense is pretty loaded for the most part.
yeah, defense is fine. That's why I say receiver, man, because Keenan Allen's getting old. And like you said, the Mike Williams experiment hasn't worked since he got drafted like seventh overall by them. So I think they want another guy opposite of Keenan Allen. I mean, Quentin Johnson might turn into a good pick, maybe, but he still got some development issues, man. But it's some really polished receivers at the top of this draft. So I mean, like you're still high enough to get Marvin Harrison if you want him. And I think the way that their offense is, well, actually, I can't say that because their coach is not there anymore. But I think whoever takes over is gonna want another option because Keenan Allen is gonna be Keenan Allen. He's gonna give you 100 catches and some yards, but he's gonna be able to make plays throughout the whole season, right? So to keep him from having to go as hard as he goes all the time to really affect the passing game, you gotta give him somebody on the other side, man, because that might give him some one-on-ones against other people. So, and I think that's what they drafted Mike Williams to do. But injuries and inconsistent play, you just can't do that.
Hmm.
So, and then like I said, Quentin Johnson is good, and he could be like a Ted Ginn type of guy because he's got elite speed and he's tall and long. So
Hmm.
later on, when he develops a little bit more, he could really be a nice deep threat option for you. And you can slide maybe Keenan Allen if he's still playing. You can slide him into the slot. He can wreak havoc between linebackers and safeties like he's been doing his whole career. And then maybe you draft Oduze or you draft Marvin Harrison Jr. and that can be your number two, who develops into your number one. So that's how I see it in terms of how they would go. But I mean, you could also go defense, man. I mean, you could Khalil Mack's up there in age. So although he looked good, he looked good, like he ain't miss a beat. But you could also go defense. You could go Jared Verse to add another pass rusher with Joey
Bosa.
Bosa. Yep, you could go there. You could go Dallas Turner too. Like, which I don't think he's going to be a high first rounder.
I don't think he's gonna be that high, but you
I
never
think,
know.
I think mid first rounder for real. You know, because that's just me. But you could go him. You could also go you could go corner. You know what I'm saying? Another corner opposite. I want to say J.C. Jackson. Is he still there, or is he?
No, they traded him back to us.
Oh,
We got him back.
Yeah, did they just sign him for a
I
bunch of
was,
money though?
yeah, well, we got him back, and I was not complaining because he's a freaking beast for us. Like, because this is the
Why would
thing.
you do that
This
though? That
happened.
makes no
This
sense.
happened in the season because something happened, and I googled him, and I said, "Why does it say he's for the Patriots?" I said, "We traded him like last, or no, he left in free agency." I'm like, well, damn. Well, that seems like a pretty good deal. Cool, we got to put him back.
Like I was like, but they signed him to like a crazy big deal. That's what I was
They
like.
must have restructured his contract because Bill's not going to overpay for anybody.
Yeah, Bill ain't paying nobody. It's how you
It's the same
trade.
thing when we had Jamie Collins. Jamie Collins had a breakout year, and everybody's like, "Oh man, Jamie Collins about to get paid," and Bill's like, "Nah, you could walk." And he went and played like a couple years somewhere else, didn't do nothing. He came back.
What's the name? Richard Seymour too. Richard Seymour was an animal, bro. He wanted to get paid, man. So, but that's pretty much how what I'm thinking. Like I'm thinking they could go corner, man. I think I like Kool-Aid, I do, but I don't know. I don't know if he's gonna be that high. I think
I don't.
he might be in the same category. Remember Drake Kirkpatrick? Like he snuck in the later part of the first round for the Bengals or whatever. That's kind of how I see Kool-Aid McKinstry going. I don't think he's gonna
This
be
year
that
isn't
high.
as deep at corner as it was last year. Last year was really deep at corner. Like the draft had a lot of good guys in the secondary. This year it's like, yeah, but not so much.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. But y'all got a nice one too, man. Y'all could go corner because y'all got Gonzalez, huh?
Yeah, we
Christian.
took him in the first round last year.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? So I don't
We
know.
won't take a corner that high though. We definitely going quarterback.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, y'all going corner. But I mean, like that
It's
should be.
definitely a position of need though.
Yeah,
I
that's
would
what
say
I'm saying.
you
It's
need to draft
big
that. Yeah.
position of need. So yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, I don't know as far as like because people are saying some draft people are saying that y'all should get Marvin Harrison, but I'm just not sold on it. I don't think so. I think y'all need more speed at receiver than anything else. But then again, another sleeper pick that I wouldn't think that this would be like a smart pick, but I would understand it uh if the Bears did it. Don't forget about Brock Bowers, man. Don't
No,
forget.
that's who I've seen. That's who I've seen the Chargers keep getting mocked to. They keep mocking Brock Bowers to go to the Chargers. If that happens, I forgot all about that. Oh my gosh, imagine that. Like that would be nasty. Like I'm not comparing him to Jimmy Graham, but like just his explosive plays, like when Jimmy Graham broke out on the scene with the Saints, like that could be a really big thing for Justin Herbert for sure. Like,
Yeah, that's a big weapon to have, bro. A big weapon to
true.
have, man.
That's a bad white boy, bro.
Yeah, yeah, man. And he got stupid speed, bro. He just take off like you don't even like, bro. He's like
He's
so
like Kyle Pitts speed, but like way like bulkier.
yeah, man. Like he just gosh, he's good, man. He's good. I hated playing him. But like I said, man, and then you got some other picks, like some first round guys that I think, because right now I'm looking at this Bleacher Report mock draft, but I see some guys that might sneak up, man. I like Amarius Mims from Georgia. I think he might sneak in the top five because he's a big guy, big lineman. Like you know, you might be able to use him. Somebody in the top five could use a lineman, depending on if the Bears trade it. They might trade up and get a lineman, whoever trades, you know what I'm saying? So you can never have, you need that left tackle, man. You know, everybody needs a good left tackle, man. And he's pretty good, in my opinion. So I like that. But I wouldn't be surprised, man, because looking at all these teams, right? And we can kind of finish up with our college football talk, man. But I'm thinking the Bears could draft a quarterback, and I wouldn't be mad. The Commanders could draft a quarterback, and I wouldn't be mad. The Patriots need a quarterback, so I'm not mad at that at all. Um, And then the Cardinals and Chargers really don't need a quarterback. So you could really see three quarterbacks taking 1, 2, 3, in my opinion.
Depending, yeah. It all depends on what the Bears do.
Exactly. So the ball is in their court, man. Like I said, I don't know what they're gonna do, but I feel
I
like
don't
if
see it,
you,
man.
I don't see it either, man. I don't. I think
The
Justin
crazier things have
Fields.
happened, I guess.
Yeah, I think Justin Fields had a lot of success these last few years, and he really had no offensive help. But you got DJ Moore, and you saw what happened. So I'm thinking you either go and get him some protection, that's why I'm
Mhm.
thinking you either get Marius Mims, you trade down and get him, or you get the guy from Penn State. I don't really know his name, but I feel like I'm going with the guy that played in the SEC. And that's just how I feel about it. I think if you're drafting offensive lineman and you got a chance to pick a guy from the SEC, I think that's where you go. So I think they could trade down and get some help for him. I mean, then you still got the number 9 pick, which puts you in that space where
Mhm.
you could either go uh Malik Neighbors, Oduze. You still got maybe, I don't know. I don't think Marvin Harrison's going to be there. I think somebody's going to pick the best player available, and he might be on their list.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because they might need a quarterback, but the quarterback they got was taken. So I don't know, man.
Mhm.
But I think it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be really interesting, dog. You know about this whole thing, man. And shout out to a lot of these players, man. Some Bama players got in here that went to other schools, man. Kyrie Jackson is slated as a first round pick from Oregon. So shout out to him, man, going to get that bag somewhere else, man. So hold on, we'll see, man. But all right, so we're gonna finish up with this college football talk, man. All right. So we already know Nick Saban left, man. So this is like our first really episode. We can really talk about it. We did some shorts about it in a live stream too. So all right, so Nick Saban leaves Alabama, man. So you already know how I feel about it. So I want to know how you feel about it as a team, as a fan of the team on the other side that's beaten Nick Saban and lost to him. Let me hear what you think, man.
I think if anything I'm gonna miss is that competitiveness. I don't know if that rivalry is gonna be the same. It's just like, man, like it didn't matter if you had the Mad Hatter. It didn't matter if you had Coach O and you didn't understand what he was saying. It didn't matter if we had Brian Kelly. Like you knew who you was going to face, whether it was in Tuscaloosa or if it was in Baton Rouge, dude. Like that rivalry is like like people sleep on it, but in that era, I feel like that rivalry's got to be like one of the greatest rivalries. Like it's just you. It didn't even matter if what the wins and losses were. That game was gonna be the game. Like I think if anything, that's what I'm gonna miss the most is just that environment that and that just that presence that he carried. Didn't matter what the season was looking like, didn't matter where it was at, but in that game, just it was just personified crazy. Uh, I don't know how it's gonna shape out, man. Like we talked about this a little bit before. I think there are going to be some growing pains, but I don't think it's going to be crazy. I don't expect them to go on a run next year and win a national championship, but you never know. College football's crazy. We've seen crazy things happen. I think they got a good guy for the job. Like me and you said a week or so ago, we both thought Dan Lanning was going to take that job, and it didn't happen. And I'm not mad at him for it because it seems like he's trying to create his brand and everything with Oregon. There were other names. Dabo was in there. Nobody wanted to see that. Uh, there were plenty of names in the hat. They were talking about Tommy Rees getting promoted, and I thought that would have been a horrible decision. Not good for the state if you're from. I think you got a guy who
Yeah.
the next couple of recruiting cycles and stuff, what'll happen. But I mean, I'll miss Nick Saban. I will. I'll miss that competitiveness. I'll miss those rivalries. I'll miss those games. But some end of an era, man. Like a lot of older cats, they're gone. There, younger coaches and NIL and transfer portal, and for Alabama, it's going to be a senior.
Okay, nah, man. I agree, man. I think there'll be some growing pains for sure. Um, but I do think that it was time for a change. I feel like it's a new philosophy need to be in there. Now I do think the inner workings of everything was gonna be tough, because it was a standard that Nick Saban made everybody play to. But I think now offensively it's gonna be a different philosophy. Won't be up and down as much as it was before. I think we're gonna score a lot of points. I look forward to that. For real, I look forward to being able to score a lot of points, man. And one thing about Washington, they put the football in the end zone, man. And their defense played with effort. I think defensive coordinator is going to be an interesting hire, because I believe we got a guy from Southern Alabama, something like that. But he's a dude though. It's not like a guy like we just came out of nowhere like Pete Golden. Like dude's a dude. Like he was really with his players and he had some energy with him. And I like that about it. Like I like Kevin Steele, but he's a little long in the tooth, man. Like he was cool, like that cool substitute teacher, man. Let you do what you want to do, just don't get in trouble. That's kind of what Kevin Steele was. But this guy is like uh gosh, man. Remember Coach Bitter? Remember Coach Bitter from HJ? Yeah, that's what
Mhm.
that's what dude is, man. So I think he's gonna be really good for us. So I think the standard's gonna be there, but it's a fresh start, man. I mean, get new guys to come in, and then maybe some guys that weren't getting a lot of playing time because maybe Nick Saban was kind of being kind of favoritism a little bit about it. I think DeBoer's gonna be like, you know what? Why didn't you use this guy? He has to play, and we could definitely use him right now. So I think it's a new vision on the team, and I'm excited, man. I just want to know what we're gonna do at quarterback. That's my biggest concern. I don't care about linemen. I don't care about none of the skill players because I know under the right understanding, anything's gonna work on defense. Anything. Like I don't even know if we're gonna run the same defense for real. So that could be something new, you know. So but I'm looking forward to seeing what we do at quarterback, man, because although I'm a Jalen Miro supporter, man, if I'm a new coach, I want to do my own thing. That's just how I feel. I want to find the guy that's going to give me the most success I can have in year one. Because I don't want to just start the guy that did real good last year, man. I just want to find a guy that's going to suit my system. I don't want to have to conform my system around this guy. And I feel like that's what we did last year. You know what I'm saying? We knew Jalen couldn't run the offense that Tommy Reese or Nick Saban wanted to run, so they had to make him a little more comfortable. But I feel like um, you're gonna do that with everybody, and I understand that. But I do want to see I want to see more effect down the field, intermediate throws to attack a defense to the point where they can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And if that's Jalen Miro, cool, man. If it's not, that's also cool. But I just want to know what we're gonna do at quarterback, man. Because last season it seemed like we were struggling on offense at times. And then, Jalen will do some of his Houdini stuff and it'll be cool. But, playing against a good team in the playoffs, you saw what happened, you know? Like when they don't do nothing different and stop you when they base defense, you can't have that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to attack them to make them change their defense, man. So that's how I feel, man. So I'm a Mr. Guy. but I'm kind of glad Nick Saban left because it was a lot of stuff. Like we left a lot of meat on the bones the last few years, and it's not because of like him. It's just well, it is because of him because it's some of his philosophies that he just didn't want to break. You know, instead of starting guys because they were better, you start guys because they got more experience, man. And sometimes that's not the way to go, in my opinion, man. If a dude is better than a starter, he gonna make mistakes, but he gonna make a whole lot of good plays too, you know. And when you think about that, a lot of people, would agree that sometimes there's some favoritism there. And that's not okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of dudes transfer. Now, some dudes transfer, it was because they just couldn't cut it, right? But some dudes that transferred was really good players that he didn't want to play because he felt like the players had more experience and that made them a better player. And I don't think so, man. And this whole thing about like starters playing on special teams, bro. Certain dudes shouldn't be on special teams. I'm sorry. Like you want to create a culture that under that, and I understand that. I'm not really knocking it. I'm just saying as a fan, I hate it. Like Derrick Henry on special teams, you gotta be kidding me. No way Derrick Henry should have been on special teams. No way. You know what I'm saying? Now, if this player is affecting the game like Eddie Jackson did on special teams, then okay. But if he has no value on special teams, there's no way he should be on special teams. Save those snaps for what he does best. And that's one thing I hated about what Nick Saban do. It just irked me. So there's some things that I'm looking forward to seeing change as a fan. There's certain things I'm gonna miss, but those are a few things that I really want to see different. And I think Kalen DeBoer changing it up, not keeping a lot of the staff around, is a good thing. He bringing in his own staff, man. It's almost like a cleanse, almost. So it's like, all right, we're gonna start over fresh. Some good players here, but I want to use them in my vision because I'm pretty sure he saw a lot of meat on the bones last season, man. Don't get me wrong, Isaiah Bond was gonna be good with us, but if Jalen Milroe was there, I guarantee that had a lot to do with it. So we'll see, man. I'm not sold on. I think that when the transfer portal opens up in spring, it's gonna be a whole different ball game, bro. Whole different. Like people sleeping on, like oh everybody leaving Bama. Okay, well them players that just left and went to other schools, the player that they replacing is gonna be in the transfer portal. So guess where they might want to go? Oh man, Bama seems like it's wide open. Let me go play. Yeah, so yeah, they think, oh man, it's over. Bama's stealing all their players. No, it's not. Because when spring come and they know they ain't gonna start, they gonna want to leave, and they gonna go right to Bama. So I'm not really worried about it. I just know it's gonna be a lot more players on the team affecting next season than right now. Right now, everybody's leaving because they don't know. They just going off a reaction. Oh, I'm not playing. I don't want to play here. All right, that's cool. When you start adding up that transfer portal, when the spring come around, that's it. You gonna change everybody like, oh, Bama's back. I'm like, nah, bro, don't say that. Don't say that now. Because everybody was saying, oh, they done, they done. I'm like, all right, wait till all them people fall into Alabama's lap, and then you can just start picking off who you want. I'm telling you, that's why I don't have no expectations right now because the team is not even fully in order. At least the staff isn't. Once we stop worrying about administrative stuff and get to football, that's when I'll start giving my expectations. Because right now it's in flux. People leaving, going, he ain't got the staff together. But as far as him, Kalen DeBoer, I like it. So that's my whole thing right now. That's my spiel on it, man. So
Mm-hmm.
but we got into some good stuff today, man. We got into some great conversation, man. Hopefully I got a better record in the playoffs than you this week. We'll see. But Ravens to the Super Bowl. hashtag it. It's going down. Lamar party starts now, and we're gonna try to get it done, man. Hopefully you get a Super Bowl, man. That'd be really cool, man. So Lamar winning Super Bowl, which is what he wanted to do when he got drafted. So hopefully we can get it done. Cause it's a good team, bro. Really good team. So but before we get up out of here, man, anything you gotta say, man?
Yeah, thank you guys for all the support. We've been kind of slowing down a little bit, but the shorts haven't slowed down, so we do really appreciate all the feedback and stuff with the shorts. We'll keep pumping them out. We'd really appreciate if you guys really check out the videos, man. Like we put a lot of work and like research and just stuff to where you guys could really get some good, informative good discussions. But man, we appreciate anything. If you guys are feeling shorts, we're gonna do shorts. We're still gonna make videos, but I guess it's just time of the year, whatever's going on, whatever. But we're thankful. If you guys aren't subscribed, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel, hit your bell notifications so you don't miss when we have any new videos, shorts. If you like pro content, we got pro content. We have college, we have shorts, we have discussions, we have what ifs, we have all kinds of stuff like that. So definitely check us out. If you're more of an audio guy, like you said earlier, don't forget to search Football Frame of Mind, whether it be on Spotify, whether it be on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, all that good stuff. When you're working at the gym, when you're driving, pop it in, listen to it, whatever. Like you said earlier, we have a Shopify with a cool hoodie. We'd like to try to add some stuff in there. We'd really appreciate if you guys would leave comments on the video shorts or even leave feedback on the website to give us an idea of what you guys would like as well. We're just going to keep doing these reactions, doing all kinds of shorts, see all these crazy news and stuff going on. Keep watching the videos, though, because we're keeping track of wins, losses, predictions, and stuff like that. And once the NFL season's over with, we can start getting into all that other cool stuff. We're going to do that draft video, that fantasy draft video we never got to put out. We're going to do that.
Yep.
Tons of draft conversations, tons of recruiting, all kinds of stuff like that. So if you guys aren't subscribed, please subscribe. Check out all the content, and you will not be disappointed. And thank you so much.
All right, man. Couldn't have said it better myself, man. Hey, I'm Cam. That's Brandon. It's a Football Frame of Mind podcast. Signing off.